Yeah.
Hiya. Hi guys, how's everyone doing? You all alright? Hopefully everyone's okay. We're back on Wednesday with our block of the week. Are you all enjoying the sunshine? It's been specially ordered for two of my favourite people's birthdays. So it's Sarah Jane's birthday today, so wish her all a happy birthday. She definitely ordered sunshine and she got it. It's beautiful here today. And it's also our lovely Jackie Bloxham's birthday as well. So two of my favouriteest people's, happy birthday guys. Yeah, it's a bit strange having birthdays when you can't see your friends and all, isn't it? But I suppose that's just the lockdown. Lots of people, it's happened to lots of people. So we'll all make up for it with cocktails and dancing and all when we're allowed back out. So who's there today? Anybody coming online?
Sean, Sheila, we got Linda,
Fab.
Angela, Jenny.
Oh, cool. Lots and lots of you. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So we'll just give everybody just a couple of minutes to come online. Thank you for some of your comments yesterday on the challenge post. I've seen some really lovely free motion stuff happening. So remember to pop a photo on that challenge post, okay? If you'd like to go into the free prize draw. So hopefully you guys some of you watched the little demo we did yesterday, which was the free motion, and we did those little greetings cards and showed you how to do it on larger pieces as well. So so have a little go at that and pop me a picture on. We've had quite a few already. There's been some. I'm really loving Sally's cow that she did, so definitely worth going back and having a look at that. But yeah, there's some really lovely examples there. So we're going to get going on our block of the week. So this is block number 12, I think, in total. I know we did several on the Wednesday, but with all the other ones as well that have been included, it might even be 13. I can't remember now. It's been going on too long, hasn't it?
Sean says she loves the quilt behind you.
Oh, this is the Curve Up quilt that we did. As you can see, I haven't put the binding on it yet, or the border, but I thought I'd just change it up, give you a different background, because you've been looking at the Cosmic quilt for a little while. So yeah, this is the Curve It Up one that we did in class, and there's some lovely examples out there actually of the ladies that have done them. Some really nice ones. So, right, okay, hopefully you've all had the cutting instructions. They were all online yesterday. Obviously some of you are going to sew along with me, others of you'll be able to watch back and do it afterwards. The pattern will be going online as soon as I've finished, okay? And again, as with all the others, it'll be £2 and you can purchase the written instructions. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do a block called, it's traditionally called Dove in the Window. And it looks like that. And I think it's because this little bit looks like a little dove flying in a window. And it's got these lovely 60-degree angle star points all the way around it. Okay, so this is the block we're going to have a go at today. Okay, so hopefully you'll have got all this ready. If not, you can sew along with me later, all right? You need 4 squares of your background fabric, which are 5 inches. You need 4 squares, which are 4.5, and 1 square, which is 3.5. Okay, and then from another fabric, I've labelled them on the cutting instruction. It was fabric 1, 2, and 3. So fabric 1, we're going to call this one fabric 1, and this was 8 rectangles, which are 3 by 6. Okay, and then fabric 2, you want some little sashing pieces, so you needed 2 rectangles which were 2.5 by 1.5, and then 2 rectangles which are 4.5 by 1.5. God, I'm having to do this off the top of my head. There's too many numbers. And then from fabric 3, you just need 1 square, which is 3.5 inches square. Okay, so we're going to start by doing this lovely little quarter square triangles. I can never say that. Doesn't have to say right. Quarter square triangles right in the centre. Okay, and to do that, you want your 3.5 from fabric 3 and your 3.5 from your background fabric. So we're going to move everything else out of the way for a second, starting with the easy bit, and then I'm going to show you the points at the end. The points aren't difficult, they're just a really different technique to what we would normally do. Okay, so nice and easy, we're going to start by drawing a line across the back of our white square, like that. Okay, and we're going to pop them right sides together with our coloured 3.5 inch square, And grab a couple of pins just to make life easier. Pop a couple of pins in just to hold them together, and we're going to stitch 1/4 inch down each side. Okay, so over to the sewing machine. Oh, so how's everybody doing? Everybody okay? Everybody all right? Everybody
Gina
with
said,
me?
hi lovely, I'm a bit late as I've been adopting a train, don't ask.
Adopting a train? Well, now I have to ask, Gina. I need details. How are you adopting a train? I'm intrigued. Thanks for joining us anyway. Oh no, see now you're gonna have to tell me what that is. That will bug me otherwise.
Jenny says you never pin.
Pardon?
Jenny says you never pin.
I never pin. No, I don't normally. And then I got told off the other day that I should pin really because you guys do pin just because I don't and I wing it. So pop a couple of pins in and then just going to go down both sides as we would normally. There we go, like that. Pins out. And then we're going to just chop up that line and then I'm going to iron them out, okay? So I'm just going to use my scissors to chop up the line like that. Ooh. Can do it with your rotary cutter if you want. I'm just a bit lazy and use the scissors, okay? And then you want to press to the dark side, okay? So if you have the dark side on top, set your seam and then just roll back, okay? Like that. Now this pattern does require that you square up each time, okay? It's quite important that you do it because it really won't go together otherwise, all right? So got to this point here, I'm going to square them up to 3 inches. So squish over here. Oh, I really should steal one of the boys' rolly chairs for lunchtime, shouldn't I? Okay. As we've done before, so I want these to be 3 inches. So put my 45-degree line down the seam like that, and it's only a widgy bit, but this will because it's going to be quite small when it's finished. It really will make a difference. Okay, so. And there is quite a lot of squaring up in this pattern, sorry guys, but it's a really pretty block. It's really unusual. I quite liked the different star points, so I thought it was worth giving it a bit of a go. And sometimes, it's worth having a bit of a challenge. We've done some quite easy blocks. There's been some challenging ones as well, but some easier blocks. And I thought, no, I think you guys are ready for something that uses some much smaller pieces and some slightly different techniques. So all I'm doing is just squaring these up to my 3 inches. Okay, get rid of all that into the thread catcher. So on the back of one of them you want to draw another diagonal line, okay, and you want it to go in the opposite way to your seam. So if my seam's going that way, I'm going to draw it this way. Okay, so I'm going to draw my diagonal line in the opposite way to my seam, like that. Okay. And then I'm going to put it right sides together with this one, and you want to make sure that they're alternating colours, so the dark is touching the light and the light's the dark, like that. And you'll be able to feel that they kind of click into place, those seams here, because you've ironed them both towards the dark fabric. You get hopefully you can see this, you get that little ridge, and you want those ridges to kind of click into place. And I would absolutely definitely pin at this point because you don't want that to move, okay? If you want your quarter square triangle to quarter triangle square, I always say it the wrong way around, to be nice and accurate, so you want to do that. And then we're going to go back to sewing machine and we're going to go either side of that. Okay, squish back over, and then let's find that pedal. And then I'm going to do a 1/4 inch either side of that line. Okay, here we go. So, just while I'm doing this, any comments, Drew?
Jenny says I get it. Says joined us.
Cool. Happy birthday, sir.
Then Gina said my favourite heritage line, Severn Valley Railway, has adopted a train scheme going to raise funds while they can't run.
Oh, that's cool. My grumpy, who I was really close to, he died when I was 15, he died really young, bless him, but we were really close. He did an adopter scheme. He a part of the Great GWR, Great Western Railway. He used to work on trains. So when that's what he did after he'd come out of the Navy. He worked on the trains, which were steam trains then as well. So yeah, I remember going to visit lots of, when steam trains came into platforms, that smell of the steam and everything. As a small child going out with him and stuff to see the trains come in. There's a real distinctive smell about steam trains that are amazing. So I've sewn 1/4 inch either side and just chopped up again, okay? And then just set that seam and iron that out. You can iron them open if you want. I don't tend to. Oh, I'm pleased with that point. You will only use one of these, okay? That one, I know, put it into your improv, your mile a minute box, or use it for another block, okay? But you only use one of them, okay? So now we're going to square this up to 2.5 inches. So it is quite diddy, it's quite little, but it's worth doing this bit of squaring up. So squaring up so that the point stays right in the middle, okay? I'm going to make sure that, I want it to end up as 2.5 inches square, but I'm going to make sure that that point is right in the centre. So half of 2.5 is 1 1/4. So I want to find my 1 1/4 and 1 1/4 and put that right slap bang in the middle there. Making sure that 45-degree line is down the centre. And then we're going to trim off there and there. Okay. And then when I turn it, I can do my 2.5. But by doing that 1 1/4 bit, I'm making sure that that stays really nice and central. Okay. So there's my 2.5 and 2.5. Okay. Right, so there's your little centre block done. I'm just going to give that another quick press just because it's not sitting very flat. So there we go. That's a bit better. Give it a bit more oomph. Now you want your little 1.5 inch triangles. Triangles? They're rectangles, aren't they? Not triangles. So we're going to put the two smaller ones, the 1.5 by 2.5 on the top and bottom, and then we're going to put these two down the sides. So that's sewing. How's everyone doing? Any comments there, Drew?
Sarah says thank you. Sally Collins says hi. Maria said how to make life difficult for yourself. I use white fabric for fabric one.
Oh. What, as well as your background? Oh, okay. That's going to be interesting. It'd be nice to see, though. Yeah, and make it so that you're playing around with, fabrics as well. Because if you reversed your backgrounds and your colours, you'd get a different look to it. So, yeah, might make it a bit difficult to start with, but it should look really good in the end.
Jenny asks if you set the seam. Would you? Does it make sense? Would it sit flatter if you ironed the seams open?
Yes, it would have sat a little bit flatter. And actually on the first one I did iron that seam open, but it's just really fiddly to do on camera, try and get it open and everything. So, and this little iron is brilliant. It hasn't got a very good point. So like last night when I was doing that one, I did it on the big ironing board, and it just makes it easy to have the point on the iron to get in. So I'm just cheating a bit at the moment. And yes.
Maria said, oh, sorry.
So sewing the seam open will help it lie flatter, yes.
Maria said her background is yellow.
Oh, nice. Oh, I'll be interested to see that one then, Maria. Okay, and then I'm just going to iron this fabric, those two little pieces, towards, like that, towards the fabric too, yeah? Again, because it's got a bit more space than trying to fold it into the centre. And then once I've got that far, I'm then going to put one either side. Okay, so how are you all doing so far? Is it all making sense so far? Yeah?
I think so, no.
Let us know, okay? I know if you're sewing along, it might be difficult to type, but if there's anything you need re-explaining, just say, okay? And we'll Joe will read it out for us. Okay, there we go. So, who's going to watch Sewing Bee tonight? What was it? I can't remember what they said it was this week. I don't remember that bit. Tell me, ladies, if you remember. What was it they were doing this week?
Sandra said, I'm going to do my screwing up later at the moment. I'm
Fair
having
enough.
an FMQ. having, I don't know what that means. What's an FMQ?
Free motion quilting.
I'm having free motion quilting. I'm free motion quilting, having an inspired after yesterday.
Cool.
Sitting, eating cider cake and a cuppa.
Oh, nice. Cider cake sounds good. I love apple cake, so I imagine it's a bit like that. But only like apple cake if it hasn't got sultanas in it, because I hate sultanas. So,
Children's Week, everyone says.
Oh, yes, I remember. Yes, yeah, because I remember seeing that they had all the children models in, didn't they, in the little trailer. So, cool. I wonder what they're going to come up with. Right, okay, so that's your little centrepiece. Let me just chop off some of these threads because they're going to get right in the way. Sorry, Drew. I mean, I put that down at a really odd angle for you, didn't I? Ooh, don't chop your finger off, Sarah. Caught my finger there.
Andy Griffiths is having machine problems, unfortunately.
Oh, Han. Oh. Well, remember these will go on YouTube and you'll be able to watch back on our Facebook page as well. Okay, so there's the centre. And again, I want to square this up to 4.5. Okay, so this is still the dead centre. Half of 4.5 is 2.25. So I'm going to put the 2.25 line on my ruler right in the centre. And I'm going to keep that 45-degree line going through the line of that centrepiece, okay? And it's only a tiny witchy bit to come off, but worth doing, okay?
Cider cake's full of fruit and walnuts, apparently.
Oh, nice. I'd be happy with the walnuts, not the dried fruit. I'm not a lover. I don't like raisins, don't like sultana. I don't like fruit, but then you guys know that about me. Don't eat fruit. Any vegetables you put in front of me, amazing. Fruit, bleh. Might eat an apple if I absolutely had to. And I quite like watermelon. But any other fruit, nah, you can leave fruit. Particularly dried sultanas. Okay, so there's our little centrepiece done already. Okay, nice and quick, that bit. I'm going to put that aside. And then what you want is you want your... No, that one. Your 4 5-inch background squares. Okay, I'm just going to give these ones just a quick press because that's not... I cut them out quickly last night and I forgot to press them. So just give them a quick press just to get them
Sean's the
nice and
same.
flat.
She says, understatement, I love veg, but hardly eat any fruit.
Yeah, no, I love veg. I mean, any veg at all and enjoy it, but fruit, nah, blah. Okay, so I'm going to cut these 2 at a time. So, and it's slightly odd, this, okay? So I want you to be sort of, think carefully about what you're doing. So I've got them right sides up. I've got 2 stacked together, okay? And I'm going to fold them in half, wrong sides together, like that. And then I want to just press in a little line, okay? I know just press them flat, but I want a central line, okay? Now, while they're still folded, I've got the fold here, okay? These are the raw open edges and the folds here. You're going to take a ruler and you're going to cut diagonally from corner to corner, okay? Doesn't really matter which way you cut, but I find if I keep the fold on the left-hand side, it works better when you're cutting. You don't accidentally cut through the fold, okay? So the fold's this side, raw edges there, and I'm going to cut diagonally corner to corner. Okay, that bit there is wastage. Okay, stick them in your mile a minute pack. Okay, and you've got 2 triangles now because I cut 2 together like that. Okay, slightly different to a, if I just cut this in half, a half square triangle, you can see it's a different shape. Can you see it's a much different shape? And that's what we're going to use for the star points. So again, I'm going to do that with the other 2. Put them right sides, not right sides together, right sides up on both of them. Fold it in half and give that a press so I've got a centre crease. And that centre crease helps later on, okay? I've got the fold on the left-hand side and then I'm going across like that, diagonal like that. Okay? I've now got 4 triangles. So, you now need your 8 3x6 inch pieces, okay? Which I think was fabric 1, can't remember now. Yeah, I think it was fabric 1. And I'm going to do this on one and then I'm going to chain piece the others,
Maria,
okay?
sorry, what size square was that?
That was the 5-inch square, Okay, so that was the 5-inch square. You should still have 4.5 inches left. Okay, so these were the 5-inch squares. Right, we are going to put one this side and then one this side. Okay, it doesn't matter which side you start, it really doesn't. I always tend to start on the right hand side, probably because I'm right handed, but I'm going to do the right hand side first. So I'm going to line it up with the point, okay, like that. And you've got a lot of excess up here, okay, but that's right. And I'm going to sew down 1/4 inch, okay, so I'm going to go back to the machine.
Catherine Lum says it looks like Concord.
Ah, yes, it does. Yeah. Oh, I miss Concord. I always thought it was really lovely to see Concord flying over. We used to see it when I was living in Cheltenham, where I'm from. We used to see Concord go over the house quite often. It used to be a real big thing. My mum and dad would be like, "Oh, Concord's going over." We'd go and watch it. It's a very beautiful plane. Shame it's out of commission now. Okay, so I'm going to stitch down 1/4 inch on that one, and I want to press out. So just set the seam and roll it out so it's pressed towards the darker fabric, the coloured fabric. Okay. Then I want to get my other one, and this is going to go on this side, and you want to line it up with the blue fabric, okay, so that overlaps like that. Alright, so I'm going to line it up. So can you see that it's with the blue fabric? I'm not lining it up on the what I can see of the white. I'm lining down onto the blue, okay, like that. Okay, and then I'm going to stitch 1/4 inch down there. Now you can do these types of points with foundation piecing, you know, with stitch and tear, but not everybody wants to do foundation piecing, so I thought I'd show you this method because it's a slightly different technique, so that you guys can do it without having to do foundation piecing. Okay, so you end up with something that looks like that. Okay, it's quite an odd shape at the moment. And then we're going to trim it to size. So we're going to go back over here before I do the others. I'm going to show you how to trim this one to size, and then we'll do the other. I'll chain piece the other 3. Okay. So now hopefully I can still just about see that real centre crease that I've got. What I'm going to do actually for you, you won't need to do that, but if I draw that centre crease in, you'll be able to hopefully see it on camera. Okay, like that. Alright, so, because it's very hard to see a crease on the white. What we want to do is we want to trim it off 1/4 inch longer than that point there because of our seam allowances. So the first thing you want to do is grab your ruler and pop your 1/4 inch line, this long 1/4 inch line here, on that point. And then I'm going to use one of my horizontals along here. Okay, can you see? So I'm following that crease, that centre crease, so that I know that this is straight. Hopefully that makes sense, guys. And then what I'm going to do is chop off that bit there. Okay, so I've got 1/4 inch of blue here, and then we know that that's straight because of how we use that centre crease to line up the horizontal. And then going to turn it round. Sorry, I just need this one now. And then I want to trim it off at 4.5 inches. So I'm using that cut edge there. Okay, like that, and finding the 4.5 inch line and cutting this excess off here at 4.5 inches, like that. Okay, so again, still looks a bit odd at this point, so you should have something that looks like that. Okay, now we want it to be 4.5 inches this way as well, because you want to end up with a 4.5 inch square. Okay, again, so that you've got the same amount of fabric both sides, we're going to measure out. So half of 4.5 is 2.25. We're going to measure out 2.25 from that centre point out, and then do the same. Okay, so sorry, I do need to turn this towards me. Hopefully you can. Okay, so my 2.25 line. So again, I can use that central line that I drew in and make sure the 2.25 is right slap bang. Let me find one there. Right slap bang on that point. And that the 2.25 line is running up that centre line. Okay, and then I'm going to take off this Okay, and then I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to do for my 4.5, 4.5 as I would normally. Okay, like that. Right, you can see, hopefully you can see, can you see that it looks like I've lost my point, okay? But that's because when we sew it in, that will disappear into your seam allowance, so you haven't lost your points, okay? And I won't lose this white point here because I've got my 1/4 inch there. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to piece my other 3, and then we'll go through that cutting again. Let me know if that makes sense. Hopefully that made sense to you all. But I'm going to do it again now. Alright, so back over to the sewing machine as per usual. I'm going to have to persuade him to buy me a rolly chair. It's so good. Whole little bit going on. Or we could just make the kids move out and I can have my sewing room back. So
I'd do this if I moved out.
that's true. I'd have no Drew for camera work, would I then? Okie doke. Right, any comments there, Drew, just while I'm chain piecing this little lot?
No, not since Maria said asking what size that square was.
Are you all okay, ladies? Is it just our funny Wi-Fi? We got a bit of a lag going on? Are you commenting or not? Did that make sense, that cutting? Okay, do let me know if you want me to go through any of that again, okay? Well, I'm going to go through it again, but you know what I mean. Okay, so I'm just putting each one of these down one side of the triangle, and I'm just matching up the points and having the excess on the top. Okay. There we go, all the way down there.
Sheila says it makes sense, and hopefully it still will when I try it later.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to listen to me all over again, I'm afraid, if you want to go along with it later. Okie doke. So set that seam and roll it out, and you definitely want to do this bit of ironing before you put the next one on because you need that overlap. Okay. So again, set the seam, roll it out, set the seam, and roll it out again. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to put the one on the other side, and we're going to trim them all up again. So it is a slightly different way of making these triangles, but it's just a bit different, I think, you know, because we're so used to half square triangles. I think it's quite nice to have something that looks a little bit different for a change. Okay. There we go, down that one.
Liz says it makes perfect sense.
Good, good.
Marion says I find squaring up difficult.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing. It comes with practice. It does come with practice, and it's, you know, it's something that gets easier. The more you use your ruler, the better you'll get at squaring up. You know, the lines are on the ruler for a reason. You know, using those 45s, using those little angles and stuff. The more you use your ruler and the more you get used to your own rulers, the better. So that one, and then down this last one. And again with these, remember I'm just lining up on the edge of the blue, not the edge of the white this time. Okay, so I'm lining on the edge of this blue bit here. Okay, not the edge of the white square, white triangle this time. Okay. There we go. Right, let's chop those apart.
Sian's got to go. She's got to go to a webinar.
Cool. All right, Sian, I'll see you soon, lovely.
She said she'll see you tomorrow and see Sarah tomorrow.
Yeah, Sarah's on tomorrow. She's making peg bags. She's got a really nice pattern for a peg bag. So it's
perfect timing for peg bags, isn't it?
It is. I know the weather's lush today. You can get some washing on the line and need one today. Okay, so I ended up with my 3 funny shaped ones like that. Okay, so back to squaring up. Now I like this one for my 1/4 inch just because it's really nice and clear against the blue. I'm having to use this one for when I do the others because this only goes up to 4 inches, unfortunately. So, okay, so just realised that I pressed that one too hard and I've lost my central crease. So I'm just going to put that back in again. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to put my 1/4 inch on like that and line up on my centre crease like that. Oh, that's just moved a weeny bit, and down across we go that way like that, and I'm going to do that on all of them for ease. Okay, so again just put my centre crease back in because I was a bit enthusiastic with my ironing. I've lost my crease. Oh, excuse me. Like that, and again 1/4 inch and line up on that centre crease there, 1/4 inch there. There we go. So I'm going to do that on all three. I find it easier as well. I find I remember the steps more if I do it this way. If I do one at a time each time, I've got to remember the bit that I'm doing. So I tend to chain piece things and do all of one step, all of the next step. But that's just how I learn best. Okay, so there's my 1/4 inch there, again lined up with that point, and then I'm going to go across like that. Okay, so done that along there, along the centre, and there's my 1/4. Okay, now we're going to make each of them 4.5 this way. So that's the cut edge I've just done. Line up my 4.5 inch line here on my ruler. Take off that excess.
Andy Griffiths asks, when you fold the background square and cut, does it cut the corner off? Does it cut the corner to corner, or is
corner to corner? So I won't cut these because obviously I need these. So you'd fold it in half like that, with the fold on this side, and you're going to go corner to corner diagonally. Okay, and you're going to get rid of this bit, and then when you unfold it, you'll end up with your triangle. You watch the video back, Andy. Hopefully you'll get it from when I explained it then. Okay, but yes, you're going to go corner to corner diagonally. Remember, guys, the written instructions will be on the website if anybody wants them. Okay, I've done lots and lots of little diagrams and all, so hopefully you should get it. Oh, there we go. That's all three done. Getting ahead of myself then. So I've trimmed them both sides to 4.5. Now I want to trim them 4.5 this way. So half of 4.5, 2.25. So I'm going to put my 2.25 line on that centre point, like that. Okay, so there's my 2.25. Oh, that's 2.5. See, nearly went wrong then. There's my 2.25 there, like that, right the way down the centre. Oh, hang on, I'm moving it a bit too much. There we go, got it. And then I'm going to take off this bit here, and then turn it, and now I can do my 4.5s. Okay. So who else is there, groups? Anybody else there while I'm doing this bit of squaring up?
No.
No?
Not since.
Any questions?
Maria said my ruler goes round in circles when I'm using it all.
Well, I get that a lot actually. I'll put my ruler down and I'll pick it up like 10 seconds later, and somehow it's gone that way, and you have to go, oh, where is it? Where's the right bit? So yeah, I know what you mean.
No, Marion said, and mine. And we got Carolyn watching as well.
Lovely. Oh, I've got lots of people on today. That's fab. There we go. And one more this way. Like that. And I've got one last one to do, and then we can start putting the block together.
Jeannie says she's still here, just quiet for a change.
For a change.
And Jenny's still watching too.
Cool. Okay. Oh, it doesn't. There we go. Because I'm sitting down to cut. I like to stand up when I'm cutting anyway. I find I have a lot more control over it when I'm doing that. There we go. So there's the last bit there. Okay. So now we can start laying this out. Just going to get rid of all this scrap out of the way, because otherwise it's going to get all in the way. And just pop all that into the thread catcher. There we go. So I'm going to lay this out. So where's my centre square? So I'm going to work from the centre. So there's my centrepiece there. And then we're going to go one this side and one this side. I'm just going to stand up so hopefully you can see you better.
I can get a camera to do what I want.
Yeah. Oh, this is toy playing up.
Yeah, just a little bit. Right, I got it.
There you go. Okay, so we're going to lay it out with your star like that. And you should have 4.5 inches left on the background. which are going to go in the corners like this. Okay, like that. And that is your block. Okay, that's your dove in the window block. Cool. Actually, let's get the dove to go in the right way so he looks like he's flapping that way. Okay, so I would then sew this one to this one to this one. Obviously that row together and this row together. And then once I've done my rows, I would press them in alternate directions. So these seams I would press that way. These seams I press this way. And this one I press that way so they all nest in together. And then once you've sewn them all together, you can see you end up with a block that looks like that. Okay. Now my points are pretty okay. That one's a little big, but you can see that by cutting that little 1/4 inch, it means that your point joins up in here, and you end up, I don't know if you can see up here, Drew. Can you see that even though on these ones it looks like you've lost your points, when you sew them together, your points come back, and you've also got then your 1/4 inch when you join them together, so you don't lose your points. Okay, so that, ladies, is the dove in the window block. So let me see what you've been doing. Post some pictures for me. Does anybody want me to go through any of that again? Is there anybody that is like, oh, what's she doing? Wait, what did she do then? Anybody got any questions about that one?
Karen and David says that was excellent.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you.
Jackie Arlen said hello, just joined.
Oh, hi Jackie. Oh, you've just about missed it, lovely, but you can watch later.
That's about it. To say anything?
Okay. Fab. So yeah, that's stuff in the window, ladies. Have a little go at it. You could play again. You could play with it. You could make these half square triangles if you wanted to. Because if you imagine if we'd had like, I know it's pink, but you imagine if that was another colour again, you'd get a whole nother look as well there, wouldn't you? Maria says she's done her background is yellow and these is white, so you're going to have like a lovely white glowing star with a yellow background. So, you know, again, I'm sure Gina will come up with some amazing variations because she loves to play with these blocks. But have a go at this one and then have a look at you know, playing with it and seeing what you can come up with. So if there's no more questions then I'm going to go because I've got some bits to do. Sarah's on tomorrow and she's doing peg bags. She's got a really nice pattern for that she's worked out. And then we are off Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're not doing a 1 o'clock and we're not taking phone orders. You can still order on the web if you like, but we're not going to. We're going to have a couple of days off, mainly, to be honest, to get ready for next week and to get ready for the next Chanda show because we've got a lot, a lot going on with the head because we've done this. We're doing another one now. They've asked us to step in again, so we've got one on the 17th and one on the 28th. So yes. So happy bank holiday. Let us know if you're doing any celebrations for VE Day on Friday. Post us pictures and stuff if you've made bunting or you've done anything. Don't forget there's the challenge post. You can always do something on the challenge post over the weekend and keep in touch that way. But I will be back on Monday. So I will see you Monday with another block. Sian will put up over the weekend what we're going to be doing next week, but there'll be a block on Monday. And yeah, please join Sarah tomorrow to do her peg bag. And I'll see you Monday. So stay safe. Have a wonderful weekend, guys. And hopefully the sun stays out, which will be nice. And yeah, stay safe, stay home. And I will see you Monday. Bye, guys.